Hey there friends, on today's video from the garage, we're going to be installing this lever action dropper post on this fat tire bike. This is the easiest dropper post to install. It requires absolutely zero cabling or internal routing. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Let's do it right now. We are going to be installing this exform dropper post. This is the speed up dropper post. Okay, inside our box, you're gonna find two parts. This is the main seat post with the lever and then the main dropper piece that goes inside of this tube. You also have the seat post connector, and this is a little guy that you're gonna obviously put the rails of your seat inside, clamp it on, and then you got a little quick instruction guide over here. Now, if this looks a little bit different from your normal dropper post stem, that's because it definitely is. What normally happens is you have a cable that will attach in this area and then go up to your handlebars. And then you've got a lever that you can push that will move your dropper piece up and down. Now, this has a little hand lever that you actually need to manually manipulate in order to move your seat up and down. But again, using this type of dropper post means you don't have to install cabling or your little lever on your handlebars. It actually keeps your cockpit a little bit cleaner. Now, obviously the downsides to this are you're not gonna have that quick action of a dropper post, but I'm gonna be installing this on a fat tire bike and I really don't use the dropper that often. I just want the ability to move this up and down when necessary without having to adjust my quick release and really mess up my seat post settings. It can be a little bit difficult to find the exact position I want when I return to my climbing mode. So let me give you a quick demonstration of how this works. Again, all you're gonna do is take your lever, and when I move it up, this thing is automatically going to come out of the stem there. Now this is a 100 mm post. It comes in 150 as well as 175, but because my bike frame is so large, I actually wanted the smaller one, the 100 mil. So in order to have this thing go down by pulling up the lever, I'm gonna actually have to install this and actually have my body weight push this down. But again, that's great because it actually does, with the pressure in there, feel like a normal dropper post would. So let me introduce you to the latest addition to the bike fleet here at Scott's Garage. This is the framed Minnesota fat bike. I am absolutely loving this thing so far. We've been on quite a few rides now. It's got great geometry. It's got a nice frame that allows for up to 5-inch fat tires. I've been really happy. You can see it's got a 1x drivetrain, which again allows me to pop a dropper post up here and actually have that lever action. Now let me show you why I wanted to go with the easy pull lever dropper post, which we are going to be installing. So even though there's room up here for a lever for the dropper post, as you can see, there's only one frame support for a cable that goes back, and that one's for the NX 1x11 derailleur. So basically, in order to get a cable from the dropper lever over the frame and up to the seat, I'd have to finagle either some zip ties around the frame or some other method. If you guys have a method, please let me know in the comments below, because it might be a future upgrade. There's also no internal routing on this specific bike. A lot of times you could run a cable down through the main down tube right here and then up the seat post, and you can come out and attach to that external dropper post lever or the actuator that would move this seat up and down. But again, I don't have any way of routing through my frame. So the first part is obviously pretty easy. We're just going to remove our old seat post and seat still attached, and then we'll take off the seat once we have this attached. Again, I have a quick release, so this is really easy. If you have a bolt-on basically clamp that goes right here, you can just use an Allen key to pull that off. I'll probably be replacing this with a bolt-on that I have from another bike, just because I won't need to be quick releasing this thing anymore. It'll stay nice and stable once we get that new dropper post in. So let's just undo our quick release here, pull out our seat post. Now again, this is going to be a really important step. Somewhere on your current stem, you can barely see it on mine. The letters or numbers have kind of faded off. You're going to find the measurements for your seat post. This is a 30.9 And that is going to be super important because a lot of these will come in different sizes. The specific dropper post that I got is a 30.9, but it also comes in 31.6, I believe, as well as another size depending on your seat tube measurement. So again, look at your old seat post. Make sure you take note of that specific sizing. Okay, next thing I'm going to do just really quick is I'm going to be removing this quick release clamp, and I'm just going to put on a lock-on clamp in its place. Again, an unnecessary step unless you want to swap out your specific clamp. So here is the lock-on clamp that I am going to be using. Again, if you're going to be doing this step, make sure you get a paper towel and some cleaner and just clean up your little seat post stem right here. You want to make sure there's no grit or grime, things that'll basically scratch the paint. Okay, so now that we have our seat post and seat off of the bike, it's time to place them on the new dropper post. Now, again, this is a very simple procedure. You can see how it's set up right now where you have your stem that goes up to the clamp on the bars, the rails here that are on the seat. Okay, let me quickly show you how to install this new one. Basically, it's gonna go like this. You've got your nut that goes up through this little hole that is on the back of the lever, and it's gonna come up. These clamps are going to sit parallel to, or actually perpendicular to the post like this. And then you've got this little stabilizer here that the nut goes up into. So I'm gonna take this apart and we're gonna get it straight on just like that. Okay, and there you go. That's how it should look installed. Again, we've got our lever facing forward and we are ready to put this thing back onto the bike. Okay, when putting this back down into the seat tube, again, you've got a minimum height or minimum insert that you need to place this down into. So it has to at least go down into your frame that much. Now, again, our other seat post is actually fairly small. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this down in actually pretty far. And then what I'm gonna do is actually adjust it a little bit here, give it a couple test rides and see if we can't get it into the proper place. Okay, after a couple little adjustments, tightening down the seat clamp and making sure our seat is nice and parallel with our bike frame, I think we are looking good. It's time to give this a test. So we are out doing a little bit of field testing on the seat post right now. So far, so good. Again, I'm used to the hand lever on my cockpit, on my handlebars to lower and then extend the dropper seat back up. So I am missing that. But again, if you're just using this dropper post on a flow trail like this, where you're only gonna be really lowering it, raising it a couple of times, it really is not bad at all. Again, what I'll do is I'll grab this, and I'll just force it to come back up with using that lever. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go down the trail a little bit, I'll turn the corner, and then I'll show you me lowering it. Again, I'm gonna have to take my hands off the bars. Feels a little precarious to lower it, but it's not bad. So let's try this out. There we go. Now, one thing to note really quick, this is again a 100 mil version of this seat post. And as you can see, I've put the bottom of the post almost all the way down. So again, this 100 mil is actually perfect for me. That's about the right seat height. If I'd gone any bigger, like the 150 mil or the 175, I may have actually gotten something that's a little bit too big for this specific bike. So again, do some measurements before you purchase to make sure you're buying one that is gonna fit your specific frame. Okay friends, so there you go. If you have room on your cockpit and your frame has the ability to run a cable, I'm really gonna say go with your normal lever style dropper post. If you're just looking to get into the dropper post game, you want a cheaper option, you want a really easy install to be able to do it yourself, this is pretty darn good. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs up. There's gonna be links in the description box below if you wanna pick it up on Amazon. And hey, stay tuned, hit that thumbs up button if this has helped. Subscribe, we got a bunch more bike tutorial videos that are coming up soon. Thanks for watching.